Alright, welcome back to the Dragonlance campaign. I will be playing tennis in DM Vodkard's game. We should be starting up pretty soon. Hopefully this week we will have all 4 games. So we should be able to play Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. As a recap for this game, after killing the dragon, we ended up trying to go back to Solace and found out that the nearby lands had been completely ravaged by dragons and draconians. We snuck into Solace 2 by 2, and we were starting to get some information before some draconians came in. And yeah, now we're in a fight that didn't need to be a fight.
Better be noise, Captain.
All right, I am back. I am ready, everybody, all my players. Let us check by doing our infamous ready check here. I'll set it up. And someone say something real quick.
Say something real quick.
Awesome, perfect. Five out of six ain't bad.
I believe one of them said they were going to be late because of Scouts.
Yes, Riverwind will be just a little bit late here. I'll quickly start by sharing a map. And then to recap, you all entered Solace to find that it has now been overthrown by Draconians. It would appear that they are gathering up the strong and using the weak to build a fortress around Solace. You all entered the inn of the last home, now uh, mostly on the ground, right, fallen to the ground, half of it destroyed, but still up and running. You go inside, you meet Tika, you begin to hatch a plan when a few Draconians enter the inn. Uh, they sit down. I do believe an elf walked by, which they started to tease. Tika, not having any more of it, slammed a pan upon one of their heads. You all, I remember, well, I believe it was River. Who was it? Riverwind who shot the door to vine it up.
Yep.
Ensnaring strike. Yeah, yeah, that was awesome. I love that. That was awesome. And I believe we left it right at that where you all rolled initiative and we were ready to begin combat.
Yeah, I thought we were in combat, but you may be right. I see a puddle already.
Oh, that was one of the draconian. Yeah, that was a like a not sneak attack, but like a surprise attack between Tika and all of you. That
Okay.
means one of them has already been uh melted into a pool of acid. Some of the oh yeah, that's right. Some of the draconians got out, and one of them still hasn't. So let's start things off. Oh, it looks like me.
Tika with the frying pan in the inn.
Absolutely. But he started his turn in the acid, so he has to take a dexterity throw. Which of course it succeeds, and it immediately jumps out of the way.
Now, I forgot what incapacitated him. Was that a hypnotic thing or what?
I'm looking right now, I'm trying to remember. It was a good one too. But you have so many spells.
Yeah, the only one that would do that I know was a hypnotic one if they failed their save.
That was it, hypnotic pattern.
Last third level spell, so all I've got is a couple of healing at one.
Oh, that's right. So he is hypnotized right now, then, correct?
As far as I know, yes. Now, if he takes damage, I think doesn't he get to break that?
Yes. Which in that case, we're retconning a moment, and he did not was not able to do the dexterity saving throw because I kind of imagine him just wobbling there, standing in the pile of acid. So he directly takes damage. And in doing so, he is no longer incapacitated. And he charges for the door.
Run away! Run away! Run away!
All right, another one of my turn. This guy was at a daze too, wasn't he? He was.
Yep.
So now does he have to do like a wisdom saving throw to
If he takes
shake it
damage,
off?
if he takes damage.
Only if he takes damage. Got it. All right. Then in that case, he just kind of stands there, dazed and confused. And we're up to Tika. What? No one's playing Tika yet? Okay, I'll play Tika. Tika runs up to all of you and tries to hit the Draconian in the head while she runs past him.
That he was dazed, but not anymore.
She wouldn't know. She's young, full of spirit.
That she is.
But she did do some damage to him. All right, there we go. Finally up to one of my players, Tasselhoff.
All right, Tazloff will sneak around Tika, try to be sneaky, and he's going to strike at the same one she just hit. Gonna try to knock him with the hoopak.
Nice.
Maybe you get a surprise attack. I don't know.
With him being, he has the effect of visible on, I think it'll automatically give him advantage.
Oh yeah, I got to take that off. I was invisible coming into the tavern, but yeah, I would get advantage on this being still invisible.
Yeah, but by attacking that, yep, you're right. That does remove the effect though. But I'll give it that you get advantage at least on this shot. There we go. It's a hit.
Heavily damaged. All right, he is going to use his cunning action to disengage and move out away from this guy a little bit.
All right, Flint.
Okay, I want to move here. And then I'm going to attack, do my first attack on that Draconian. Yep, targeted correctly. Oof. I could just do it again.
Yep. Much better. Nice.
And I am going to be done.
Oh, Riverwind is late. Goldmoon, oh, actually, no, because he's owned by someone. I'll go ahead and just play him just until he shows up. I think Riverwind would probably run more towards Goldmoon.
She hears the bow cock and she kind of ducks.
Oh, I rolled the long sword. Oops. Oh well.
It was extra long.
There we go. Rolling the correct one does hit though. All right, that'll end his turn. Number 2 doesn't want to go near the acid, so tries to work his way around. And sees a Kender impeding his way. They were not prepared for this fight, so they do not lick their swords as the previous ones did.
Okay. Any word?
Oh, I hear you. But he does. Oh wait, Tasselhoff, you're still invisible.
Shouldn't be.
There we go.
Yeah, well, it takes a full action to remove the hood on that cloak, so to become visible again.
Does
So
it?
the pressure in your eye, huh? Smoke pot.
All right, so I would say
Alright.
then.
Talk to you about this more, Mom, but I'm in the middle of my online game with several other people right now. I'll call you back about 8 o'clock, maybe a little bit after, okay?
Graceland,
Alright,
we
okay,
can hear
bye.
you.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. It's yes. All right.
Stick to my commitments.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and say that yes, the cloak may have been slightly off. You may have been invisible, but with him swinging at a disadvantage, though he missed you, he was able to tear the hood of the cloak off, exposing your head. For his second attack is no longer with disadvantage.
Fair enough.
Moha. Wouldn't have mattered because you dodge anyway, Tasselhoff. All right, Gold Moon.
Okay, let's see. I've got first level spells. I'm going to save those to heal. So I guess I'm going to use my quarterstaff and just blunt the guy. I'm going to do non-lethal on him.
Okay.
But he's not dead.
Nope. Looks like Gold Moon said knock you out. I'll take him off the map, just so we don't confuse, but there is a knocked out Draconian now, uh, right in front of Flint and Tika. All right, Raceland.
Okay. First question, Vod, have we established whether or not they are humanoid or whether or not they're susceptible to humanoid spells?
They are humanoid.
Okay.
Humanoid of dragon descent, if you really want a metagame for a moment.
Give me just a second. Huh. Alright, I'm going to give this a try and see how effective it is. So, I'm going to target Draconian number 4. And I am going to cast Charm Person on him.
Oh, and Oh, good job. You did not charm yourself, but you did charm it.
Yay! Yeah, I forgot to untarget myself.
I was curious to see what if you would have charmed yourself or not, so I didn't say anything.
Well, I'm glad the roll didn't go to him.
All right. Are you able to put? You can put an effect on him, right?
Charmed by you until the spell ends or until your companions do anything harmful to it. The charmed creature regards you as a friendly acquaintance. When the spell ends, the creature knows it was charmed by you.
Oh,
So
yep. Click
after I
the
charm
effect.
him, I'm going to look at him and say, "Can you help us escape?" And then look at his two companions. I guess in Raceland's tone, it would be more like, "We need your assistance. Can you provide us some cover from our foes?"
Certainly. Nyah, 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 nyah.
Is there an effect you can put on him?
Well, it becomes friendly.
I got it on him. It's mostly to remind myself.
There we go. Sorry about that.
It's all good. It was just so when we get to its turn, I don't forget.
So he's charmed and incapacitated.
That's awesome. Now, charmed does not mean though that he's going to immediately look at the other draconians as enemies. It means that he will look at you as a friend.
Right, but hopefully by, indicating them with my eyes, he understands that they are my adversaries.
Yes, that is true, and I don't mind playing off that. I
And
just
the spell does say he can't harm himself, doesn't say anything about his companions.
yeah, I just get a little tricky about the charmed spell sometimes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
what else would you like to do?
That's pretty much my action, so I guess I will, you know what? I'm going to step out of the way a little bit. And then I will end my turn.
And we're up to
Right.
Karen, man.
So I stand to my feet, grabbing my shield, and as I look at this draconian next to me, sort of stop attacking, and so you hear Raceland talking to him, I'll grab my dagger and throw it at number 2.
And just to remind you, while he's friendly, you can walk past and through him without triggering any attack of opportunity.
It's true.
Oh, look at that crit. Woo, baby.
And so the blade flips through the air and stabs into his shoulder as and then I'm going to step over to the side and get in front of Tika as I pull out my longsword.
Standing on top of the knocked out one.
I was envisioning him hopping from table to table.
Yeah, that
Breaking
works.
each table as he hops on it. All right, Janice, I see you're running up. Okay. Okay. Even a -2 would have hit it anyway. Nice, Hasselhoff. How much movement does he have? Just a 5-foot movement back? That's right, half. Okay.
Ooh. We're going to run out of floor space here with all these puddles.
I'll have to use prestidigitation or something to clean it up.
Tika chooses to stay standing behind Caraman. She puts her arms on his shoulders. Get him, get him. All right, Raceland. Oh, by the way, round 2. And what's this? Initiative got re-rolled.
No.
I've been testing this out on a couple other sessions with with like or 8 players, and oh, it makes things so much better. So, like, you'll see.
It's cool. I like it.
Yeah, I agree. I do it. I think it's much more realistic. I do it on all my tables.
I've really become a fan of it. Yes,
So it's Raceland's turn.
it is.
Okay, so let's see. Sorry I'm slow tonight, guys. Alright, so first Raceland's going to step over here. Raceland steps to the side and he points out, "We simply do not have time for this distraction. And he lets loose a firebolt. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo.
Yeah.
Oh,
I gotta fry that puppy.
Oh
That
wow!
roll.
And
no kidding.
and Raceland lets loose, just ever so briefly, a wry little smile.
Quebec Draconian 4 looks at all of you, looks at his dead brethren. You will rue the day that this
He's charmed.
occurred.
He's charmed.
What, he's charmed? Oh, he is.
And incapacitated.
And he's incapacitated. So he's hovering with a smile on his face.
Got the IQ of a dish rag right now.
Yeah.
How the heck are we going to get out of here? It's a big pool of acid right in front of the door.
Yeah. And it was vined and everything else.
Well, you guys have like a full round before it's that Draconian's turn again. What were you gonna do with the Draconian?
Tika should also have a suggestion too, Vod, since she works there.
The Inn of the Last Home is now on the ground. As the Solace was destroyed or almost destroyed,
Oh, that's right.
all of the buildings
This is
have
the
been
second
razed to the
module.
ground. So there's no more secret pole in the kitchen.
I guess we're going through a window.
That was my Draconian's plan. Oh. Yeah, you can go through a window. I mean, you pretty much destroyed the entire place already.
Karaman, throw one of them through the window.
Well, definitely wouldn't be going the way that the other patrons are going. They're melting in front of the front door. And you all turn to look at the front door, and a few of the patrons that were still in the inn that got trapped in the inn are now pounding on the front door trying to get the ensnaring strike out while their feet are melting in the pool of acid. It's a pretty sad sight.
Ruh-roh.
Oh my God, it's horrifying. Horrifying. It's a death trap.
It's a mafia hit. Pool of acid, they're dissolved. Remove all evidence. All right, so you want to try one of these windows?
Chuck a chair through the window, Karaman.
It was Riverwind that put the ensnaring strike on there, isn't it?
Yeah. All you have to do is quit concentrating. It'll go away, but you want to let people in or just go out a window?
We should let these people leave. They're being melted alive. And I will turn to Tika and make sure she's okay.
I'm okay, and I do think we need to get out of here, but I agree. Maybe helping those people would be nice.
Okay, honey, you can let them in.
And I'll turn to Raceland as I pick up my spear and dagger. Brother, what do we do with this Draconian?
Maybe he can guard the door.
I've got dogs barking and they won't shut up.
When, when he wakes up.
Just have him delay anyone. Well, I look over at the Draconian and say to him, delay any of your brethren that come looking for us. Do not tell them that you have seen us, or we will be in danger.
Do these windows open?
They do when you break them.
Give me just a second. Just a second. I think I'm trying to listen to hear what the dogs ran out and are barking, and I think one of them just ran outside. Let me go check on what's going on. I'll be back.
I'll be back.
Cameron, what kind of game do you run?
I do a couple D&D games and Starfinder.
Oh, cool. Is the D&D homebrew or you running a published?
I'm doing so three Wednesdays out of the month, I do a homebrew, and then one Wednesday of the month I'm doing with the same group, just different characters. I'm doing Out of the Abyss, and then on Wednesday nights I'm with my brother and my son. I'm doing Dragon Device Fire Peak.
Nice.
Cool.
So it started off as a back to basics campaign. Everything is just PH as far as class, spells, races. I've since added a bunch of things in, given it to the characters, but still as they level up, it's only PH. We've been playing for about 3 years now. The big bad guy is as a ancient red dragon who's been alive for several hundred years, and the wealthy merchant who's trying to become a Draco Lich and gathering the components to do all that. And they've stopped him unknowingly twice now, so he's starting to notice them.
Yeah, that sounds
Inspired
cool.
the Eye of the Dragon.
So when you say back to basics, how do you guys feel about the all of the new stuff coming out? It really seems it's a little overwhelming to reel it all in. You guys usually put a few restrictions on your players, or what? How do you handle all the options out there right now? Yeah, it kind of changed the game for sure.
A lot of the books are settings, so like Eberron and Ravenloft, Ravnica, things like that. So and acquisitions and the new Wildmount. So those are all settings. So I wouldn't allow a Minotaur in my normal Sword Coast adventure. But if you want to do an Eberron setting, then I allow just the ones from Eberron. So that's how I sort of tone it down. Just go by setting.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of curious what you guys thought of Tasha's. It was a little bit much. I'm trying to get through it, but yeah, I agree. It's like they're coming out, and then I heard that they want to start pumping out these books at a more rapid pace now. So it's like try to keep up with everything. I do intend to fully go through Ravenloft when that comes out in a couple of weeks. That's one I'm very.
Personally, I think there's always a danger in continuing to expand the options for the players across multiple books. Not only does it, expect the players to have to spend too much in order to stay up to date, but trying to find a rule within any given book. I guess it's a little easier with databases and online tools so that you can find what you're needing quicker. But that being said, I always like the extra stuff that they give to the DMs to help them increase their options when they're adjudicating different situations. Like in Tasha's, the toolkit that they have, adds a lot of cool stuff. Not all of it's great, but it's it gives you a lot of really good ideas for coming up with your own homebrew stuff and increasing options. But you always got to think about how it balances or unbalances the game, and you got to have time to do that.
No,
Yeah.
I'm back, everybody. Sorry it took me a minute. Someone was supposed to come and pick up the fan after my game, and they decided to show up now. So that was a little awkward saying hi in my outfit, but that's
That's right. I got this dagger over here and my little wand. No problem.
my wife wanted to tear up the carpet, and we laid down tile on the first floor. And man, I tried so bad. I kept saying, "Can I just draw a pentagram before we lay down the tile?" So in 20 years, when someone buys this house and they tear up the tile for whatever else is in fashion, they'll see a pentagram on the ground. Nope, she wouldn't go for it. I just thought it'd be funny, like putting a fake skeleton in the wall or something.
Just do a chalk outline,
Along those lines,
a taped
trying
outline.
Yeah.
trying
Okay, I'm gonna go out of break time here. I'm sorry about that, everybody.
1 second, Vod, before you do.
Yeah.
You want to double check the calendar? Is that accurate?
Do you think it should be
Actually,
later?
probably one more day now. What
I
is
was just
about a
noticing the
week?
date saying that it was Night's Eye, and I forgot that that's actually a day of the Krinish week. I was thinking if it was the night of the Eye, I'm like, oh crap, wait a minute. I probably
Oh,
demolished that Draconian, not just killed it.
oh my gosh, that would have been awesome. No, actually, I do think we do progress one more day, actually. Okay, I'm gonna go out of break here.
I'm gonna have to plan something special for when we finally do have Night of the Eye.
All right, I threw up a ready check just to make sure no one stepped away from the computer. Awesome. All right, we can go out of initiative.
So Caraman's going over to the to the window. Do they open?
Yes, the windows do open. They
So he's gonna open the window then.
yeah, absolutely. Were you all gonna do anything with the people trying to break out? I thought I heard someone say something.
Yeah, I thought we were going to ask Riverwind to release the door, and then we're going to go out the window.
Oh yeah, I'm controlling
Yeah.
Riverwind. Okay, yeah, we'll release. He
Yeah.
releases the door. I'm not sure how he does it. Like I imagine.
Concentration.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, well, I can't think of a storytelling way though to explain it, but I'll go for it. You do have a dazed and happy Draconian as well. I'm pretty sure you don't have to worry too much about him. The door to the front opens, and people with melting feet are running out the door. Fortunately, they didn't like melt all the way down to their torsos. We're not talking like the Wizard of Oz sort of thing. It takes a while to melt.
But maybe the shoes are dissolving.
Exactly, the shoes are dissolving. Maybe the soles of their feet. Maybe they got nice shiny new skin underneath. Oh, the window does open. Were you all just gonna go through the window now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which one opened? The one where Gold Moon is, or the one where Taz is?
Or Taz's and Caraman.
Yep, where Tass and Caraman is.
Okay. I was heading the wrong way.
Perhaps peek out the window before we all jump out, see what's going on out there.
Oh, it's too late.
Too late.
As you as the first few of you jump out the window without taking a peek, you jump out and stand right in front of a whole bunch of Draconian guards. They all point their weapons at you. What's going on here? We were just coming in here.
Oh my
There's
gosh.
the
People are
fire.
yeah, people are starting to melt in there. We're trying to get out. Help us, help us.
What say you, Captain? Heavy feet. Give me a second here. There we go. A few of the Draconians step aside, and a familiar face you may have seen once steps up. Short, squat, hobgoblin, kind of fat.
Oh no.
Leading the band is a swaggering, ugly hobgoblin, the stench of his unwashed body preceding him by several feet. He sneers as he advances toward you all, flanked by, let's say, flanked by 40 solid draconians, 20 on either side of him.
Row.
Ooh,
What do we
pretty small
have here?
belly dwarf.
Tough guy, I see. And a Riley Kender.
Yeah, you smell worse than a. I smell. I've seen smelled some pretty bad things. You smell worse than a gully dwarf.
What? What did you say? I was just coming to take everybody from the inn. I think I'll start with all of you. Get them, boys! And the Draconians, mind you, I did say there's 40 of them, start charging to grab Karaman and Tasselhoff. By the way, were the rest of you climbing out?
Was going to be following the group.
I wasn't. Not yet, anyway.
In that case, you who decided to follow them as they're grabbing those two, Few Master Toad happens to notice you climbing out the window too. Ah, more of you, huh? In the inn, you pot-belly swines, you'll find probably a whole bunch of these adventurers. Wait a second. Wait a second. I recognize you all. Get them. Arrest all of them. Put them in the caravan. Uh, would anyone like to fight the Draconians?
No.
40 of them, 8 of
40
us.
draconians.
No,
That's negative.
no.
Negative.
They are climbing into the Inn of the Last Home. Anyone who's still in the Inn of the Last Home, for the rest of you companions in the Inn of the Last Home, do any of you want to fight them? Then it appears you've all been arrested. Bum, bum, bum.
We not get a chance to try to run away? I guess there's no other way out, huh?
Well, I mean, uh, yeah, you could try if you really, really want. I thought I smeared soda on my. I don't know why I'm telling you all this. Never mind. Talk about a weird random thought. Oh well, yeah. I mean, if you want to try to run away, they're clamoring into the inn. Some of them are running to the front door. Do it. How would you try to get them out? That would be the door. Oh, okay, that window. Yeah, you can smash the window if you want. You'd have to or open it somehow. As you do, at least 10 draconians that were running around the outside of the inn of the last home to get to the front door spot you smash the window. Over here! They're trying to escape! Surround the inn!
Which window are we smashing?
The one near the near Tanis.
Thank you.
They open. You don't have to smash them.
More fun though.
I feel sad for whoever takes over this inn after Odic. Alright, let's so the Draconians the Draconians are beginning to surround the inn of the last home. It would appear it's either fight or surrender.
Raceland's gonna do an insight check and try to determine what he thinks our chances are.
Your insight tells you that Gilthanas is walking up to Tanis at this point.
My insight is telling me that, huh?
No, I don't know. No. Your insight is telling you that it would be a massacre on all of you if you tried to escape now.
So I say back to my comrades,
This appears to be a battle we are not capable of winning. I have an idea, but we will have to go along with our capture.
Wink and a nod, wink and a nod.
The elf that was being teased by the Draconians come up. This is not the time. I agree with him. I promise we will have our day. Let us go. Are you talking to the elf? I have many words to talk with you all, but now is not the time, not with these Draconians all surrounding us, listening to every word I say. Oh, we
But
will.
he says it in pig Latin, so they don't understand.
Igpe Attenley.
Absolute A.
I remember that in elementary school.
so I look over at my brother and say,
Kellerman, lay down your weapon.
Oh, we're already in custody outside, I think.
Yeah, Karaman
Yep.
and Tasselhoff are totally captured at this point.
okay, then I guess the next low person would be Tanis.
Goldmoon will walk out. Oh, did I miss the party?
You are the one who had the staff. Her too.
I had a little staff, but it went away.
All right, so what is he doing with our weapons as he's assembling us?
All obvious weapons are being taken. Your hands are being tied, especially yours, Raceland, with your mouth also gagged. They understand the.
You're blowing my opportunity here. There was a part here I was supposed to do.
Oh, okay. Well, How about just your hands tied?
That kind of works, I believe. Yeah, remember, he protects the equipment.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Okay.
You are DM, it's your call, but I had that whole thing ready to go.
Well, they're just now entering the building. Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, they're just now entering the building, so you would have just a moment to do something, Raceland.
So, All right, so yeah, my point was, or I was hoping to get, if we agreed to surrender, that we were all going to lay down our weapons in a single pile, and I would be the last one to place the staff of Magius on top of it.
That makes sense. I'll go for that.
So as the Draconians walk in and Toad has a clear view of it, I cast Prestidigitation on them. And I stand up with my eyes flaring and say,
Know this. I have cast a spell upon our belongings. Anyone who touches them will be slowly devoured by the great worm Caterpillius, who will rise from the abyss and suck the blood from your veins until you are nothing more than a dried husk.
and of course the weapons start glowing and whatnot, but should make them think twice.
Can he really do that, Chairman?
Many of the Draconian look a little fearful. Even Master Toad for a moment, and then he shakes it off and shouts, "Grab them anyway, boys! Don't worry about them. We'll take good care of them."
And I will laugh. This should be fun to watch.
Well, if they don't take your weapons, you're about to go on a caravan ride with all of your belongings missing.
Raceland kneels down next to her, or whispers down to Tass when he has an opportunity and says,
It's about as effective as your wit.
Daz just looks at him in a first kind of laughing, and then he realizes the joke, and it's kind of sour faced. Well, they can gather the weapons, right? They just can't try to use them. At least they think they can.
oh, well, between Raceland and the rest of the party, ain't going to do squat to any of them. It's just who knows whether it's going to happen right away or get them in their sleep, or that's their final reward now.
They stumble and stutter at the idea of grabbing the weapons, but Toad pulls out a sturdy whip and starts cracking it as the Draconians immediately grab the weapons. But even at that point, they look very uh, unsure of if they should be touching these weapons or not.
Trying to like pick it up with their other weapons and stuff, as opposed to touching them directly.
Oh yeah, they're using their cloths and yeah, they don't want to touch it with their claws. And that actually ends the chapter. Uh, uh, we'll start a new it's like the chapter within the book within the module. So we're gonna start. You all have been tied and taken to the caravan, and the caravan is on its way. Where it's going, you'll all find out in just a few minutes. Let's take a quick break.
Okay,
All right.
I did kind of just realize I was muted for that first hour, so I do apologize.
Each is mounted on a sturdy four-wheeled carriage. The hobgoblin commander screams his order above the bustle and chattering, and all of the monsters leap to obey this Viewmaster Toad. Another group of prisoners, mostly women and children, are dragged into the clearing and roughly loaded into one of the cages. At the same time, Viewmaster Toad unlocks the door to the heaviest cage. His escort prods the prisoners forward at sword point and thrusts them. Why is it written that way? It should be you guys. Uh, his escort prods you all forward at sword point and thrusts you behind the solid iron bars. The cage door shuts with a heavy clang, and Toad locks both of the locks himself. You are not alone in this cage. For this cage also happens to hold the elf from the tavern, uh, two soldiers from Solace, and an older man in priestly type robes of the High Seeker robes.
Was I able to tell if they took Tika?
They did take Tika. Tika is in one of the other uh, cages. I hate to say cage. I don't know why that's the first word I thought of. Unless any of you would like to switch characters and play Tika. I didn't think so, but I did make her just in case. And she technically is a playable character. Good choice, good choice. I'm glad none of you decided to play her.
So can Goldmood talk to this priest?
Yes, absolutely. Gold Moon. Now it is of the priest is of the High Seekers, the false gods, but you can definitely talk to the priest.
She asked, "What's his name? What's your
I am
name?"
just I am just an old man from Haven. I mean no harm.
She eyes him, and she says, "You know, the gods are alive."
This this is quite interesting. I would be more inclined to hear your stories, but uh, let us wait and see where they take us.
Okay. She starts humming, "Alive, alive, alive forevermore. My God is alive, alive." Okay.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Anyone else?
Riverwind is going to take his fur coat off and lay it on the ground in the corner for Goldmoon to get as comfortable as possible.
And you do all recognize, well, like, uh, I think we discussed it, but some of you do recognize the elf from the tavern as Gilthanas, warrior mage of Qualinesti.
And who would be recognizing him? Just Tanis and who else would know him? Flint?
Flint would know, Tanis would know. I would just
Um,
Hasselhoff would
and
probably think he knows.
would they have they found? I'm guessing yes, but have they found Taz's thieves' tools, lockpicks and such?
Yes, they did.
Taz,
Kender, you don't have anything in your top knot?
I'm afraid they got everything.
No, I don't know. Now, if you have something in your top knot, that might be something different. An obvious thieves' tools pouch, though, that you might have strapped on your back, on your waist, that would be taken.
Okay,
To clarify.
okay. Taz pulls out of his hair. He's got a couple like hairpins and things holding that together. I might give it a try a little bit later when the place clears out a little bit. It's gonna take me a little bit longer with this. They grab my good stuff.
Is there anyone else in the cages besides Gilthanas and
Gilthanas, a couple soldiers, through casual conversation, brief conversation, you learned that they were dissenters against the dragon army and they're human and they were put in the cage. The older man who is a high seeker is in the cage, and that's it so far. Things may change. We never know.
Raceland is going to use his prestidigitation to create a lockpick and give it to Tass and say,
Let's see what you can do with one of these.
Oh wow, magic lockpicks. What are we looking at? Are we moving? Are we stationary? Are there guards around? What's it look like?
At this point, you are just heading off. You hopefully you kept an eye on your gear, which happens to be about roughly 2 carts ahead of you.
yeah, Raceland's paying close attention to where the staff is.
Oh,
His
I
staff.
would. Yeah, about 2 carts ahead of you is where all your gear is. 1 cart ahead of you is another cage full of people. And then behind you is another cart. No, I believe you would be the last cart. Behind you is a whole army of hobgoblins and draconians. It is quite late at night. Um, we're talking the witch's hour, or it's got to be about 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Well, the witch's hour is 3 a.m., but I don't know why I said 2 because that's when I wake up. So it's pretty middle of the night right now. You all would be tired, but I can understand if you want to try to stay awake.
Goldmoon's going to sleep. She's got a nice warm mat. She's got her honey next to her.
Riverwind will also rest his head on top of Goldmoon's, try and find a moment peace.
Carmen would definitely be sleeping while he can.
All right. Well, if he can try to be stealthy about it, Taz is probably going to try to use the tools that that Raceland's given him. Let's see. I don't know. Is the lock?
Just to be clear, I can only give you 1 lockpick, so you don't have a set of them.
Okay.
I think prestidigitation, the item is only good for 1 turn. Is that right?
1 hour.
Are you sure?
Oh, wait a minute. And that lasts until the end of your next turn.
Great. Items.
The elf in the tavern puts his hand on you, Kender, and says, "Now is not the time. Be patient. Just reward will be deserved."
What are you on about, Gilthanas?
Sleep now. I will explain in the morning.
What do you think? What do you think, Flint? I mean, did I take the chance, or Raceland gave me this? I think I should try, but maybe we should trust him. Maybe he knows something we don't know.
He's
Raceland
stuck up.
looks towards Gilthanas and says,
You expect much, expecting patience from a Kender.
He may be a spoiled brat, but he'll lead us right. Put it away.
Oh, wait a second. Now that you're in the cage, Your hands are tied, and Raceland, your mouth is gagged. You can't cast prestidigitation.
Oh, they've gagged me, huh?
Oh yeah, I've thought of that one. Let me give a quick intro. You all sleep, okay?
Yes, long rest.
We need to give you guys a long rest. Hold on. Because Gilthanas does want to talk to you all. But first, as dawn colors the sky, the autumn chill makes another onslaught. Heavy mists obscure the nearby ruins of Slawless, and ghostly figures flit among the wagons. Several of these figures approach, and it becomes clear that they are Draconians. They pour a foul-smelling slop into buckets in the nearby wagons. A fierce clatter of swords disrupts the morning calm. Dry screams and yelps of the dragon men rise above the crash of metal. Somewhere a deep human voice rings out in challenge, and the sounds of fighting move toward the voice. Gilthanas starts at the sound of the voice. A look of alarm clouds his face. I'll actually take a pause here if Gilthanas would want to speak.
Is there a Seinfeld, elf friend? The evil ones must have learned of the aid he has given my people. I fear that he will pay with his life. The dragon men would have taken me days ago had it not been for the courage of the smith. He has smuggled elves out of Solace since the city fell, with no regard for his own safety.
The sounds of combat cease. A large band of dragon men hobble from the mist, carrying the bleeding figure of a huge man. Under the watchful eyes of 30 archers, the cage door is opened, and the man is thrown inside. Blood from the stump of his right arm pools on the dirty floor. Moaning softly, but apparently unconscious, Theros Ironfeld slips toward death.
If Goldmoon can, she'll touch him and do spare the dying on him.
I would say that you would be able to heal him in some sort of
Or
fashion.
at least a healing word, that's just verbal.
Something, yeah. I would say that's what I was thinking was maybe a verbal because you were not looked at as a mage or a spellcaster, so you were not gagged.
She said, be healed, my love.
The two soldiers stare wide eyed at you and start muttering about a miracle, while Gilthanas looks on with a slightly raised eyebrow. The old man, uh, the old uh, high seeker, mutters, maybe it's true. Other than that, just to give a quick description of how everyone reacted, uh, Theros Ironfeld opens his eyes a moment, nods, and falls asleep.
Taz is going to kind of nudge Flint in the ribs and say, did you catch a look at the look on the old man's face over there? Barely believe what Goldman was up to.
Yeah, sometimes you have to. Some people just have to see it for their own eyes. I don't blame them.
A long day passes underneath the surprisingly warm sun. Draconian and hobgoblin guards remain on watch throughout the day, but no new prisoners are added to the cages. An air of waiting hangs over the wrecked town square. As the sun drops, oh, how about that? I guess you guys didn't head off yet. As the sun drops behind the stumps of the Valenwood forest, the waiting comes to an end. The square suddenly swarms with hobgoblins, goblins, and draconians, all following the orders of the repulsive Sergeant Toad. Huge elk are brought forward from the village pens, and 4 of the beasts are attached to each wagon. Darkness falls as the guards forms ranks before and after the column, which consists of 3 cage and 2 supply wagons. A driver and a guard climb into the front of each and urge the elk forward. The reddish glow of twilight provides one last look at the ruins of Solace as the caravan slips away to the south.
Question for you, Vod.
Yeah,
Can Gold Moon offer any hay or anything that she's with to one of the elk? Can she try to do animal friendship?
I think they would be too far away
Okay,
attached to the cage, but that would be pretty cool though.
all right. Had to ask. It's 30-foot range.
Oh.
She's just trying
I thought
to,
you meant like you were gonna extend your hand out of
if it
the
was
cage
if it was
bars.
possible, and she'll use speak with animals and animal friendship to see if she can charm one of the great elk, giant elk, whatever you call them. Would you call them a big elk?
Yeah. No, the giant elk. Yeah,
You
absolutely. All right then. Let's see here. Are you supposed to? Let me check that spell real fast. Are you supposed to roll or anything?
it has to. Let me see. It's the beast must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed. It lasts 24 hours. I'll click off the spell slots. She'll just sing to it.
Oh, I'm working on it. Give me a second here.
Okay.
Let's see here. That didn't do it. Boom. Let's check this one, folks. Ah, really? I knew I had one. Oh well. We'll just use regular elk. Let's check. Make sure. I think it said intelligence is. Yeah, it says if the beast intelligence is 4 or higher, and the giant elk is less than that. So it's just got to succeed on a wisdom saving throw. Uh, Give me a second. That's an easy one I can roll. Ooh, a 14. What is your? I think that is your DC, or did it bump up to 15 now?
I don't know because it's not right on my character sheet, and I don't know how to change it.
I do.
But she can
Ah,
try.
it's a 14.
All
So
right,
he succeeded.
so she can try again. She has another one.
Uh, Gilthanas, do you wanna let her do this? Since you're the voice of Gilthanas.
Sorry, I lost my mute button.
Or you know what? We can play it out. If you want to try again, let's try again.
Did you hear me?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. No, I said I'm sorry. I lost my mute button on there. It took me a minute to come back on. So,
Oh, okay. I heard that. Sorry.
okay, this is the part that begins Pax Tharkus, right?
Um, uh, Gold Moon is about to try to befriend one of the elk that is starting. is pulling the cage. I just don't know if Gilthanas would want her to do that. If he doesn't mind, then I'm gonna
Oh,
play
gotcha.
it out.
I'm looking for a specific text in here.
Nope, nope.
Gotcha, gotcha. My
This is
apologies.
we're pulling rabbits out of the hat, folks.
I just want to have a friend or two when we can.
Yeah, if that's the case, here we go.
I was going to say something. It just caught me off guard about not having something pre-ready, but my fault.
No, it's totally okay. Oh my goodness, he saved again. I was not
All right,
expecting him to.
that's all right.
I was totally gonna play it out that you made a friend.
It's all right.
Oh, but the dice have spoken.
Yeah,
That makes me a little sad now.
it's all good.
Get that Draconian off there. And let's pull up another map, by the way.
Oh, actually, it says I could do extra ones if I go second level spells. All right. Well, I'll try that later once we have another opportunity.
Okay, I'll remember that because
Yeah.
I
Okay.
like that.
When you use second level or higher, you can affect one more additional piece for each slot above first. And I still have 3 level 2s.
Oh, okay, there you go. Okay, that's cool. That is I like the idea. I shared a map with you all. It's a little different now. You'll notice that the forest range around Solace is gone. Um, I put Tanis on the map, and you all are starting to head toward the south. Gilthanas, be prepared. I'm going to give it over to you in just a second here. Through the long night the wagons roll ever southward. The towering summits of the Twin Peaks passes soon fall to the rear. Winding out of the mountains, the caravan passes through a dark and silent town, the formerly bustling community of Gateway. Or move Tanis past Gateway. Obviously, the Dragon Lords have been at work here. South of Gateway, oh, it's dark. Let me go ahead and fix that. South of Gateway, the plains of Abyssinia spread to all sides. For several hours, the caravan makes good time across the dull flatlands until the sound of flowing water whispers far to the south. Shortly, the caravan trundles over the only bridge to cross the mighty White Rage River. Now the land rises. More trees line the ascending trail. The elven homes of Qualinesti lie somewhere to the west.
Pax Tharkas. That must be our destination. It is bitter indeed that a monument to peace has been perverted to the evil purposes of slavery. Long ago, the near-forgotten age of dreams, Kith Kanan led the elves to Qualinesti. The Second Dragon War of Sylvanesti had brought these western elves great fame back in their ancient home. But Sylvanos, king of the Sylvanesti, felt uneasy at the rise to power of the Qualinesti elves. Yet when the Kinslayer War with the human kingdom of Ergoth erupted, the king did not hesitate to call upon the Qualinesti. The war was long and bloody, leaving scars that no treaty could heal. Thus, when borders were agreed upon and the bloodshed halted, the elves of the west felt removed from their kin and wanted no part of the ancient home of Sylvanesti. With the scribing of the sword-sheath scroll, many problems of the world were laid to rest. The king of Ergoth gave the western elves a magical wooded place of great beauty and natural harmony, the land that has come to be known as Qualinesti. Sad was Sylvanos the king when his eldest son Kith Kanan chose to lead the western elves to their new home.
Deep was the split between the two elven kingdoms. Sylvanesti continued to follow the lofty ancient ways, removed from the other peoples of Kryn, while Kithkanan and the Qualinesti made peace, traded, and intermarried with their neighbors. Perhaps the greatest accomplishment of a great life was Kithkanan's signing of a permanent peace with the mountain dwarves of Thorbodin. Sharing their knowledge and skills, the two peoples built the mighty fortress of Pax Tharkas at the border of their two lands. For many centuries, Pax Tharkas was a bastion of peace and safety, a symbol of the cooperation among folk of different background and race. Even now, as we near that fortress is in the hands of the Dragonmen, I cannot believe that it has fallen to storm. Only the darkest treachery from within the walls could have led to this sorry outcome.
Suddenly, the caravans stop. You look ahead, and you see a gray-robed wizard talking to a tree. A few draconians walk up to it after few Master Toad points at this old man. The old man seems to just be bumbling and just follows them silently as they escort him to your cage.
And Taz can't sleep. Taz is too excited by all this. He's bumping Flint again. Flint, Flint. I think we're near. I think we're near the elves. I think we're near Colonesti. And now there's a just like a madman that's talking to himself, talking to a tree. They're putting him in the cage. You got to look at this.
I see it. Yes, you're right. Let's just go. It's late.
I,
Tasselhoff, your passive perception would tell you you recognize this man, that you have heard this storyteller before.
hmm.
Why, hello there.
Hello. Are you quite all right? You seem to be having quite a conversation with the foliage out there.
Why, yes, he seems to have lost lots of his friends. I was trying to console him, but it seems that destiny has brought me somewhere else.
Well, you're sorry you're lumped in with this lot. It doesn't look like we're on a very happy trip. Seem to be on the way to a slave pen, something called Pax Tharkus.
Sometimes the way forward is actually the way back.
More riddles. This is
That
getting.
makes no sense.
The old man lays down and goes to sleep. It is late at night. Suddenly, a wavering call rolls from the woods off to the west, like the cry of some elegant bird. Gilthanas stiffens, brings a finger to his lips. Another call floats from the east, and now the health responds with his own call. Immediately, the caravan guards begin to shriek and whimper. The driver of the cage wagon slumps forward, an arrow bristling in his neck. Quickly, the guard of the driver's side draws his sword and leaps to the ground. A deadly arrow whistles into his breast. Sergeant Toad gallops from the rear of the column, screaming to his troops to draw arms and face the unseen foe. He barrels into the gully dwarf servant of his and berates the poor creature with a volley of curses. On your feet, you pitiful worm, and cover my glorious retreat. Above all, dog, these prisoners are not to escape. Staggering beneath his weight, Toad's horse carries him to the front of the column, where the sounds of fighting are the faintest. The little dwarf climbs to his feet, muttering under his breath. He adjusts his oversized helmet and raises a fist in the direction of his master. He still grumbles as his eyes wander to the cage holding all of you. Hoisting his dented battle axe, he moves to the locks holding the cage shut and shatters them with two solid blows. As the door swings open, the little gully dwarf disappears into the underbrush. Although freedom lies just beyond the swinging cage door, the battle outside is becoming more violent. Several elven warriors glide from the darkened woods, but many of the goblin guards have rushed to the scenes as well.
I don't know why you don't like these gully dwarfs, Flint. All they seem to do is help us out. Look at this. This is fantastic.
Man, it's like, us helping all those other dwarves, like that goodwill is paid forward onto us.
Yeah, let's get out of Dodge here.
I'm gonna
Oh
take
yeah.
out so I'm gonna take the dragon tooth that I had stashed in my boot,
Yeah,
and
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
pull.
start cutting all the binds off of everybody.
Yeah, I'll pull the dwarven sock out of Rastelin's mouth.
I'm
Oh
gonna see if I
man,
can break my bonds.
Much obliged, my lady.
See if we can hop out.
Yeah, Taz is going to start heading toward the wagon with the weapons, with our gear.
And Gold Moon's going to try to charm those huge elk.
And Raceland is right behind Tass.
But she'll try to do 3 of them.
Perfect. Well, I think a picture is worth 1,000 words.
There you go.
You have all gotten out of the cage. The High Seeker seems to stay in the cage. The soldiers, on the other hand, timidly step out of the cage to fight the dragon men and the oh, geez, that was weird. Never mind. But the soldiers go out to fight the enemies to helping the elves. The gray robed storyteller looks at all of you and says, "I think I should stay with this old man," pointing at the High Seeker. You
This
all
wouldn't happen to
go.
be the same storyteller from the inn now, would it?
It would be.
Yeah, Taz is if Raceland saying that out loud, because Taz is kind of nudge. He keeps poking Flint in the ribs as he's
Well,
remembering stuff.
I'm
He's like,
basically asking Vod if I do recognize him as such. So
oh,
Raceland would first say to him, "Why, Fizban, it's good to see you again. I'm surprised that you made it this far."
Fizban, yes, that's my name. Thank you. I've been wandering for days.
But you have no idea how you found yourself here?
Oh, the stars guide me here and there. I seem to be found where I am needed. There's that tree needed me.
I sense that you have plenty of role to play in our future.
Flint, wasn't that the old man in the inn yelling about the guards and the blue staff? I think he's the one that like got us all into this mess. What's Raceland doing talking to him?
No idea. Talking to another crazy wizard.
He's a
I merely I merely started the snowball down the mountain. You all created the monster at the bottom of the hill.
I look over at Tass and say, I expect that he will create more for us before too long.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, we got to get our gear if we're gonna make it out of here.
Did you know I am a powerful and magical wizard?
Well, yeah. Do you have any way of getting the wagon open out of here? I don't have my tools.
Well, yes, I would love to show you. Watch what I can do. And Gilthanas immediately grabs him and stops the gray man from doing anything. Not here, gray man. Okay, enough chatter. You got to get weapons. And it would appear there are two goblin, the regular goblins, starting to charge toward the cart in the other direction. You all want to roll initiative?
Yes. No.
And we are free of our bonds, correct?
Yes. Tanis worked on all of your bonds with his dragon tooth.
Oh, we got music. Cool.
I'm trying to remember to play music more often during the fights. All right, we start things off with Riverwind. Keep in mind, none of you have your weapons or armor at the moment.
Are there any immediate threats within our range?
So,
Like right near us?
right near
threatening
you,
us.
no. There is off to the sides. You do see random battles between elf and enemy, but nothing charging you except for these two goblins over on the right hand side of the map.
Are there perhaps any dead combatants with daggers or short swords lying around?
Why, the two coachmen?
Yeah. Riverwind is going to, and all our stuff is in the second cart, correct?
That's correct.
Riverwind is going to advance as far as he can, double move to get to the cart. Or as far as I can go.
All right, that works.
Well, Taz will pick up a. I guess it's Riverwind's move. Sorry.
No, I'm done.
So Tasselhoff will, if nobody else is going to pick up one, Tasselhoff's going to pick up a. What do you say is around? Is there
There were two draconian coachmen, so there are two long swords.
Ooh, I don't know if I'm proficient in a longsword.
It's a weapon.
It's a weapon. I just don't know if Taz could lift it. I was looking for something a little smaller.
You can. You are proficient in long swords.
Yeah, I see that now. Okay, yeah, well, Taz is going to grab one of those, and he's going to move too. He's got to get to that wagon, so let's see. Wow, how much movement? Is it 5 feet? How much movement do you have, Erwin? Did you get way up there?
5 foot squares?
I think so. That's my 30 feet right there.
I just drew an arrow and it says 60, so I'll go for it.
Double moved up there.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a free action to pick up the weapon if you wanted to dash. Taz.
That's what I think. I was just going to ask. I picked up the weapon. Can I dash another 30 feet?
Yeah, you can. All right, Raceland.
Firebolt. And that's in range. So I'm going to give that another try. No, definitely not as effective. I guess that's all I can do then.
There you go, Caravan. I apologize. No, one of the goblins dashes toward Tasselhoff and Riverwind. All right, Flint.
I think I am going to just run up. I'm not going to get these swords. I'm going to try and get one of my axes. I only got 25 movement, right?
Yeah.
Um. Hold on. Yeah, I get a double move. And then I'll be done.
All right. Tennis is going to acquire the other longsword.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how much movement I've used.
That's about maximum if you're not dashing.
Okay. All right, and then move up there on the dash. And then in action surge.
Very nice. Don't forget to target.
Yeah, it's I'll just do a -2 on the longsword +2.
Oh, that works. Good call.
And second swing. Got it. And I will apply a trip attack. Oh, well, I tripped him straight to death.
That's pretty trippy.
Face plant.
Cracked his head on a rock when he fell.
This goblin shouts for reinforcement. And shouting for reinforcement, he grabs the attention of a couple hobgoblins. that actually ends his action. So his movement is to stay with the hobgoblins because he's a cowardly goblin and is not going to rush towards you all by himself. All right, Gold Moon, I see you already got your movement. There you go.
All right, she's going to target 3 out of the 4 elk and try to charm them
Nice.
Obsessed with these elk.
wherever
That's
they are.
awesome. I love it.
There's like 2 on each cart, if I remember.
There is, so there would be 4 of them.
So you want me to just roll 4 times or 3 times, and you want to do it or what?
Here, I'll get it. It's because I know their wisdom their wisdom.
Okay. So I'll burn a level 3. So they
All
fail.
3 of them are charmed.
Oh, good. That's all I can do this round.
That's really smart.
So as I climb down out of this wagon, are there any daggers around? Did the drivers have any daggers?
They do have the 2 long swords that were already taken, but that's all they had.
Okay, so I'm going to run up. I'm going to move a total of 60 feet.
Yep. There you go. That's about right.
And that's it. I'm trying to, is this, actually the elk are where I'm standing. I would have gone around one more to the south. As I run around to the back, is there people in here or is it just goods? Can we reach over the top? Do we have to open the back? How do we access our stuff?
It's an open. It's a open-ended rear cart. You with just tarp. Not they wouldn't have tarp, but blankets over it. So you just throw it back, and there's your stuff.
Am I tall enough to reach over when I get there, or do I have to go all the way around to the back?
No, I'll give it. You can. I'll go ahead and give it. You can reach it.
Okay, cool. That's it for me then.
Yep, because your action was your dash, though.
I put the elk stats in the Discord if you needed them at some point.
I
So-
can't find it, but I actually made giant elk, and I can't find my giant elks. I've actually made a giant elk, and I don't remember which module I made it in.
Okay, well, anyway, the stats are just a regular elk are in the Discord.
That's good.
Yeah, I just went online and grabbed them and dropped it.
Riverwind is going to go around to the back and grab his weapons and equipment out of there. Is that going to take up the whole action?
Is the wagon locked, or is it a cage, or is it just a wagon?
It's just a wagon, so open-ended with a blanket over the stuff, with just a little like a tailgate at the end.
Perfect.
Hey, Vaughn, I think he's suggesting you probably need to add some elk into the combat tracker since they're now befriending us or helping us.
I got 1 in. I'm about to add a few more.
Okay. There they is.
Be honest, this is the first time you've added elk to the combat tracker.
Not the first time I've done it.
Specifically elk, yes, but I have added the white stag a few times.
Players always going after pets.
There we go. Okay, I threw some elk up there.
Yeah, thank you.
And would getting my weapons be my complete action after I went around to the back block?
Seeing that these are your guys' weapons and they're in a big pile, you would have to rummage through it.
Okay.
Yes, it would be an action, unlike getting the long swords from the dead coachman, which is just running and snagging them.
Not a problem. Would they have removed our armor as well? Would that drop our ACs?
I'm gonna say no.
Gosh, you guys better hope I'm not walking around without my robes.
I know, right?
So
I mean, like, some people only wear their armor, so yeah.
I'm gonna collect my weapons and then finish out my movement by kind of moving 5 more feet, just so everybody else can get to the back behind me.
All right, Tanis. If you're, it looks like you're talking, Tanis, but I didn't hear you.
Yep, sorry. I have a mute button on my actual mic, so sometimes I have that on.
Oh.
So I'm gonna go over here, grab my stuff. Would it be possible to try to grab Flint's stuff as well if I just stay here and I just able to hand that off to him?
I would say that would be a bonus action then.
Okay, so I'll have my sword and then Flint's axes.
Yeah, it wouldn't take 2 full actions to find 2 sets. It would, because if you're searching for 1 set, it would be quicker to find the second set. So I would consider that a bonus action.
Okay, so Flint, I have my stuff in one hand and then yours in the other.
Thank you.
All right, Goldman, what do you want the elk to do?
Well, I'm going to run over and free it. I'm assuming it's still bound.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so on my turn, I'm just going to come over here and kick off the reins off of both of them, and basically cast speak with animals, follow me, and that'll be the elks in Gold Moon's turn.
Perfect. All right, Caraman.
So I'm going to run up. My spear is really long, so it should be able to pretty easy to find. I'm just going to grab my spear and throw it.
Okay.
Bragging.
And by this time, the pile has diminished. Oh, the block by army.
But it's too much stuff, and I'm too much in a hurry, so it slides across the ground. And I'm just going to try to gather the rest of my stuff. My shield, and longsword.
Just go to the next one.
Yep, I'm on it. Gilthanas, the voice of Gilthanas, actually,
Do you want me to play him out?
I think you would probably want to play him out at this point, not that almost everyone's getting their stuff.
I can do that. I don't have his character sheet though.
Oh, I can fix that. Oh, that's the NPC version, but that'll work for now.
Okay.
Unless you want to go into the characters and snag the PC.
Yeah, I can do that too. I make it a little bit easier. There he is. What happened to him?
I'm fixing him.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Wow, he actually looks like Ilphanus now.
What a concept. Hold on. Okay, so Alphonsus is over there. Oh. How do I select his target?
It's on his turn, so it should just work.
There we go. Yep. For some reason it didn't. Alright. He is selecting a point. Right there. And casting sleep.
Nice. All right then.
Hold on. Not too shabby.
Well, it's above average, and let me double check. I think that was the exact number you need. Oh, it was one above. They all go to sleep.
Nice. Bzzz.
Oh, go Gilthanis.
I know. When is he gonna go take the test?
Well, sleep's only a first level spell.
Yeah, you just casted it really nicely there.
Elves don't mess around.
Anything else? You wanna move or shout anything?
Equality! Comrades, follow me into the woods.
Shh, they're sleeping.
I'll pass it off to Tasselhoff. I rhymed.
Well, are we still in combat? Is everybody? They're all asleep.
Okay, yeah, I can say we're out of combat for now.
I don't know that Taz is going to go murdering anybody while he's unconscious, but Taz is going to leap into the wagon and grab his hoopak and his cloak. Hopefully, his cloak is still there. His cloak of invisibility.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Riverwind goes up there and dispatches the sleeping goblins and hobgoblins with his hunting
Nice.
knife. And I'm going to look
Nice.
around and make sure nobody else is coming at us for the moment.
Somebody had to do it.
You do
Carmen's gonna
see a good thing you decided to look out, Riverwind, because about 40 feet ahead is another mini set of goblins and hobgoblins heading your way.
I will.
This opportunity to cast mage armor on himself as soon as he gets his staff.
I will head back and quickly. Another group comes. We must move.
Gold
Carmen will
Moon,
strap on his sword and then go retrieve his shield. I mean his spear.
Gold Moon, are you gonna get your stuff?
Yeah, she's gonna jump on the elk, ride it over here, release the other one, and then take her stuff and all three of them and follow Gilthanis. She's got her 3 stags with her.
Vaude, have any of us noticed what has felled the other goblins? Or where the signal, the whistling sound came from? Which direction?
On this map, it would be the south.
Okay, so then Gilthanas would direct everyone to start heading in this direction.
After I grab my stuff, come on, let's follow Gathanas.
Yeah, I think after we dispatch those goblins, it's kind of earned our, our trust here.
I would like to try and get the Seeker and the guards. And if the storyteller's still there, if he ran off.
Was there? Are we were the only wagon of people, or were there other people from Solace? Is there any more wagons being carted, or
There were more wagons. One of them happened to have Tika. Looking out though, you see that all the other cages are empty, and that elves are rushing the people into the woods.
What about Theros?
Theros is still inside your cage with the Fizzband, the gray-robed storyteller, and the High Seeker.
I'll grab them and have them come with us.
Yeah. We can't leave Theros?
No, yeah, if necessary, I will, drag Theros.
Raceland says to Taz,
Go help Fizzbond. He's going to need you.
Yeah. Taz is over there.
I don't know. I mean, come on, people. What's a blacksmith with one arm?
He's a damn good guy. That's what he is.
I'm joking. I'm totally joking. Of course. There.
You could
Red
put
herring.
them on the other two elks, and we can take them with us. Gives us faster moving speed.
Oh, that's not bad.
Plus, he can forge his own arm.
Oh, could he now? If I was a blacksmith, that's what I'd do. I always think
blacksmith.
Have you seen like those, man, people like, people who don't have like hands and stuff, and they've been using 3D printers to print like to make cyborg hands. Freaking awesome.
I've seen people do that also for appendages for their pets.
That is so cool. I just think that's awesome.
I saw somebody built a 3D shell for a turtle that had a shell cracked open or something.
Wow.
That's resourceful.
All right, so is anyone like, okay, so you all are gonna have iron you're gonna have the blacksmith, the gray robed man, and the High Seeker follow you all.
Come on, we know he's Fizzband, Bob.
Yes.
For some reason, it's easier for me to describe people than it is to say their names, because like when you have kids, you cycle through all the kids' names before you get to the right name.
Yeah, that's.
So you say, "Hey, you blondie. Hey, come come here, butt ugly." No.
I know, so I want to like cycle through names before I get to the right name. So sometimes if you just hear me say the description, it's because I'm just making it easier on myself.
Come on, Fizzband. You gotta go.
Take care of the two hobgoblins and goblin already, right? We don't have to worry about them.
They are dispatched.
There's more on the way.
There is more on the way, though.
Raceland takes a look around the horizons, make sure he's aware of anything else that's approaching us.
Nothing else at the moment. Just a few goblins and hobgoblins, probably about they're getting kind of close now.
To the woods. To the woods.
Is Fizzband getting up? Is he getting out?
Yep.
Okay.
And it looks like that you're putting them, Theros, Ironfeld on the elk.
Yep. Toss them on the elk. Tell the elk they're friends. Let's go.
Okay, they all choose to follow you. Quite simply, they get on the elk and ride with you, and to the woods you go. let's take a quick 5-minute break here. This is the end of another chapter in this module, so this would be a good little break.
Okay. We've only got 45
Check. Yay! All right, so you all are heading into the forest. Dawn lightens the woods as the sun begins to rise. As the last sounds of pursuit fade, the tall elf, who seems to be in command, calls a halt. The escaped prisoners and their escort of 24 elven warriors stand in a large clearing, bright with dew and striped by the shadows of ghostly pines. Gilthanas speaks earnestly with the leader of the war party and introduces him as Porthios. Porthios then turns to the freed prisoners and says,
People of Solace, you are free from the cages of the Dragon Lords. Where you can go, I cannot say, for all the land is racked by their evil. I suggest you try the south, for once past Pax Tharkas, you might find safety in the realms of the Southlands. I am not sure what you may find there, but the heavy fist of our foe has battered everywhere in the North Country.
he turns from the mass of prisoners to you all.
I would ask that you please come with me through the sacred realms of Qualinesti to our capital, Qualinost. Gilthanas has told me something of your story. I know it would please my people to hear more. We are unable to accommodate their number. The most help that we can provide is by providing you with assistance.
Elves always turn their back on the rest of the problems of the world.
I don't believe I turned my back on the people that you asked me to help.
Good point.
Can only offer what we can offer. You may choose to
Who
make
said that?
our aid,
Tanis,
or
the
you may not.
half-elf.
Do you represent the elven race?
Porthios is probably sneering at Tanis right now.
I am Porthios, son of Solostharan, speaker of the Suns. He rules Qualinesti, and I rule in his name in his absence.
All right, let's follow him.
Go to meet an elf king. How exciting.
You're going to love it.
Let's
You
go.
know you want some. You know you want some.
That's awesome. And well, is it a consensus?
Raceland's
Tanis
definitely
is happy to follow. I don't know. Riverwind seems to have some beef.
I don't have any beef with them. I mean, just they're sending everyone else off into a war-torn world with no home and no skills, and they're just like, "Hey, I hope you live."
Oh, good luck. Yeah, it's a little rough.
Caraman's with Raceland. He doesn't really care where he goes as long as he's with Raceland. Have we seen Tika?
We're gonna say Tika is following you all.
I'm sure your little harlot will be along shortly.
Oh,
Oh,
Wow.
No, we'll go ahead and say she is with you all for the time being, in case she becomes in the combat tracker or something.
we hear
As far as
killer.
following the elves go, Raceland's just looking to Tanis for an objection. If he's got a problem, then obviously we're not going.
We owe our
who would have a moral objection here? Maybe Tanis or Goldmoon or Riverwind to the slaves just being not the slaves, the prisoners being let go here.
They freed them without any quarrel. That's good enough for me.
From Raceland's perspective, he knows this is Tanis's homeland. He knows well enough under what conditions he left. So if Tanis feels unsafe going back there, then that says something. But if he feels that it's in our best interest, then he'll definitely defer to his judgment.
If we can be guaranteed safe passage through, meet with whoever we need to, and go about our way, then I have nothing to contest.
Despite our lack of common perspectives, Tanthalis, have we ever harmed you or provided any danger in your ilk?
Not as of yet, and I hope that that continues.
All right, then, let's go.
Porthios will end by pointing out you still are in the favor of our father, and that will always be respected.
Okay,
Yep, sounds like we're
there.
going.
Theros Ironfeld is gonna come with you all as well. It would seem that the elves need to tend to his wounds a bit more. Uh, Tika is following you all. Uh, that's about it.
We got Fizban and Theros on Elk, and I'm presuming that Porthios and the elves are willing to give Theros aid, since Gothanis will probably speak on his behalf.
Is Fizzband with you all? That's an
That's what I'm
interesting question.
confirming. Is he still with us, or did he disappear in the carnage?
Yeah, that's what I was asking before. I'll take him, but I don't know if he dipped out or not.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too. Was he coming with us? Taz was trying to get him out of the cart, but I thought he came with us. But
He initially was coming with you, but it seems that he must have gotten lost.
Of course he did.
that crazy old wizard has got himself
Fucking
lost.
wizards.
I'm sure he might return at the most inappropriate time.
I feel like whenever he shows up, things go bad.
Or maybe we just needed a nudge. Okay.
Things definitely move along when he shows up, that's for sure.
All right, then with explaining who's all NPCs coming with, the tall elf called Porthios leads the way through the pine forest. As dawn creeps to daylight, a deep roaring sound thunders in the far distance. After several hours, it is obvious that the source of the sound is a huge waterfall plummeting from an unimaginable height. The path westward is blocked by a massive gray cliff of dark granite. The pines march right to the cliff base. From there, smooth stone ascends for nearly a mile. A fringe of green at the summit suggests that more forest lies beyond. Porthios leads the way through a chuckling stream to the base of the falls, where a deep, clear pool collects the outflow of the towering spume. Stepping nimbly from rock to rock, the elf crosses the pool and enters a darkened hollow that gapes behind the waterfall. Here, a steep stairway, cut from the living rock of the cliff face, begins to ascend. A curtain of silvery water sheds light on the secret way. The path is strangely easy, turning beneath the waterfall until it finally emerges under a clear autumn sun atop the high plateau of Qualinesti. Aspen forests shiver in the noon brightness, the trunks reflecting an ivory whiteness. The fresh, earthy scent of moss rides the air. A soft trail spread with evergreen needles seems to appear magically before Porthios as he leads the way further into the wood. Let me take a quick swig of my drink here. There's still more to be said. After several more hours of providing a smooth path through the woods, the needle strewn forest floor ends abruptly in front of a deep chasm. Rolling blankets of moss coat both sides of the 100-foot wide gap. Billowing mist far below suggests that rapid waters cut along the chasm bottom. A narrow footbridge suspended from sturdy aspens spans the chasm. Gilthanas speaks.
Qualanost is protected on all sides by such barriers, yet I fear that even these will be of little aid against the dragon armies.
Across the bridge, a few slim towers appear through the aspens ahead. Now Portheos walks with a bouncing step like a traveler who sees his home on the horizon. The dense aspen forest thins out in front of the spires and arches of Qualanost. The city is small by human standards. By the same token, no human could ever build a city like this. Four slender towers lined with silver mark the four corners of the roughly square city. Between each of these towers, strings of slender arches, also silver, stretch in an elegant chain. A high tower of burnished gold dominates the city, throwing off sunlight in a whirling, sparkling pattern that gives the impression of movement. Of course, the tower is quite still, but the illusion is very realistic indeed. Beyond the arches, the wide, quartz lined avenues of the city lie dappled in the strange green forest light. Many of the city buildings are made of quartz, too, and aspen beams inlaid with silver and gold. The buildings are tall and slender, blending gracefully with the many aspens that fill the city. And everywhere there is frantic activity. Female elves and elf children either rush about carrying large bundles toward the central tower or scamper toward houses empty handed. The adult males are all armed and alert, graceful bows and slim long swords ready to meet any foe. Gilthanas and Portheos have been talking quietly. Now Gilthanas turns.
Is that
You
a
want?
clue?
That's a clue, Gilthanas. Are you there?
Yes, I am. Sorry, I had the mute button on again.
I had a feeling.
I know you are all tired and need a well-deserved rest. I ask that first you accompany us to the Tower of the Speaker, where you will meet the Speaker of the Suns, my father. As soon as possible, we will see you to comfortable quarters and refreshment.
What's going on here? Why is everybody running around like something is happening?
That's a good question. Because at this point, an elf child notices Flint and shrieks hysterically, fleeing to his mother. Soon all activity ceases as the citizens gawk at the procession of all of you and the elf warriors.
Raceland looks down at Flint and says, I thought you had been here before.
It has been a while and things seem different.
It seems you still have the same impression on children as you do on most of the residents of Solace.
Hmm.
Maybe you should strut around as though you were a dwarf king.
Yeah, we can get him a tin can. He can put it on his head.
Anyway.
All of the elves are moving in the general direction of the lofty golden tower. Porthios and Gilthanas start off in that direction as well.
All right, so no answer. Why everybody's running around? Guess we'll have to go to the tower to find out.
Let's
Yes.
just let's go.
We followed him this far. I guess we go to the tower.
Oh, if Gilthanas or Porthios wants to answer the question, that's okay.
No, I think they're purposely staying silent until they have a chance to talk to their father.
Yeah, I agree. That's how I would have played it. Yep.
So yeah, they're basically just avoiding the question.
Just relax, Taz. Trust me, this is hopefully all gonna work out.
All right, let's go to the big tower.
I should probably point out to Tass, this is probably the most impressive building that you've ever seen.
Oh yeah, Taz is fascinated. He's just more fascinated with all the hustle and bustle. He said everybody's moving around kind of with purpose and stuff in here. So he's kind of looking at the people rushing around, knowing that they just escaped. You know,
There's a war going on outside.
yeah, there's a war, so everybody's like kind of crazy. But yeah, Tanis is looking up and he's amazed at the towers and the buildings that he's seeing. Kind of like a first time in Manhattan. He's just his neck is craned up at the towers.
Okay, in that case, let's head up to the Tower of the Speaker. A pair of gilded doors swing silently open into a chamber that looks much bigger than the outside of the tower. It is not a time and relative dimension in space, though. The huge room has a white marble floor and walls. Many windows admit the sunlight and fresh air. Many elves stand here expectantly. The tallest elf here is dressed in a resplendent yellow robe, and his hair is tinged with silver. He steps forward eagerly, opening his arms to embrace Gilthanas and Porthios.
My
Got your
son,
Doctor I got your Doctor Who reference, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
my sons! I thought I would never meet you in this world again. Gilthanas, what of your raid? Lord
You can talk
Speaker,
to
my
yourself.
father, I have failed. We traveled with all stealth southward as was planned, yet fate had us meet the northbound army of the Dragon Lord. I was struck upon my head and fell into a ravine, thinking that would be the end of my days upon the face of Kryn. Some time later, I awoke and found tracks leading northward to Solace. Thinking to free my warriors who may have been taken prisoner, I followed. I found that Solace had been taken and its Valenwood forest razed.
A gasp rings through the council chamber at the thought of the mighty forest leveled. Gilthanas lowers his eyes and speaks his next words with difficulty.
I found my companions in the square, tied to stakes made from the fallen trees. The large red dragon soared above them. I watched the people of Solace forced into a large circle around the captives. A great and evil leader, hidden by a beast-like mask, rode the red dragon downward besides the stakes in the square. He spoke as the serpent landed. I am Verminard, Dragon Lord of this realm. I have need of all mortal beings in the great work of the Dragon Lords. Those who obey shall serve me. Those who do not shall feel my wrath. Then the dragon breathed flame upon my fellows. A kind of madness came over me, and had not this man restrained me, I too would have been burned into nothingness. He risked his life for me, and indeed suffered the loss of his arm for the crime of protecting a frightened elf.
Gilthanas gestures toward Theros Ironfell.
It
Uh,
was
go ahead.
Speaker chimes in. It was the worst of times, the great sundering.
claims the speaker. We keep. Oh, there
Mhm.
should be a thing there.
A quote there. We keep what we know in memory and song. It was then that a great darkness fell, but now, as our poet will tell you, the darkest of the gloom is lifting.
Yep. Now it's the part where you go, oh, what? I think we need something
Oh
cool.
yeah, I'm sorry, I skipped over part of that.
Oh no, I'm looking for the canticle of the dragon.
Right, but yeah, he also points out before he actually says that, and apologies for skipping over it, but he clarifies to everyone that all of their clerics have disappeared too, and that's where he gets into it was the worst of times.
But they're alive and they're coming back.
At this point, a court poet steps forward and recites the canticle.
How about you have everyone read a paragraph, since I've been doing quite the lion's share here. Not that I mind, but just to keep everyone involved.
Yeah, would you all like to do that?
Press
There's what, 8?
start. Sure.
We can go in the initiative that you rolled earlier. Or if you want, I can do it. I don't mind.
No,
No, we don't mind doing it.
so maybe we skip everyone and start with Tanis since, yeah. So you guys have been doing all the talking.
Oh, there you go.
Are you skipping me?
Wait, no, not Riverwind.
Yeah,
There.
we can go with Riverwood.
Yeah, we can go with Riverwind. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I
Someone
forgot.
must have thought you still weren't here.
Vaughn was doing Riverwind at the beginning. Sorry about that.
And this is the elves telling us this, correct?
Yeah, it's a court poet, an elven court poet comes out to recite the canticle.
Out of the darkness of dragons, out of our cries for light, the blank face of the black moon soaring, a banked light flared in Salamnia, a night of truth and of power, who called down the gods themselves and forged the mighty Dragonlance, piercing the soul of dragonkind, driving the shade of their wings from the brightening shores of Krynn.
Paladine, the great god of good, shone at the side of Huma, strengthening the lance of his strong right arm. And Huma, ablaze in 1,000 moons, banished the queen of darkness, banished the swarm of her shrieking hosts back to the senseless kingdom of death, where their curses swooped upon nothing, and nothing deep below the brightening land.
Thus ended in thunder the age of dreams, and began the age of might. When Ishtar, kingdom of light and truth, arose in the east, where minarets, is that what that is?
Minarets?
Minarets of white and gold spire to the sun and to the sun's glory, announcing the passing of evil. And Ishtar, the mothered and cradled the long summers of good, shone like a meteor in the white skies of the just.
So who would be next? Karaman, you already went, right?
Yes.
Hasselhoff?
Yet in the fullness of sunlight, the king priest of Istar saw shadows. At night he saw the trees as things with daggets. The streams blackened and thickened under the silent moon. He searched books for the paths of Huma, for scrolls, signs, and spells, so that he too might summon the gods, might find their aid in his holy aims, might purge the world of sin.
Then came the time of dark and death as the gods turned from the world. A mountain of fire crashed like a comet through Ishtar. The city split, like a skull in the flames. Mountains burst from once fertile valleys. Seas poured into the graves of mountains. The desert sighed on abandoned floors of the seas. The highways of Kryn erupted and became the path of the dead.
Thus began the Age of Despair. The roads were tangled, the winds and the sandstorms dwelt in the husks of cities. The plains and mountains became our home. As the old gods lost their power, we called to the blank sky into the cold, dividing gray to the ears of the new gods. The sun is calm, silent, unmoving, and yet to hear their we had yet to hear their answer.
Go ahead, Raceland. I'll take the last one.
Then to the east, to the sunken city, scarred in its loss of blue light, came the heroes, the innfellows, heirs to the burdens, out of their tunnels and out of their arching forests, out of the lowness of the plains, the lowness of the huts in the valleys, the stunned farms under the warlords in darkness. They came serving the light, the covered flames of healing and grace.
From there, pursued by the armies, the cold and glittering legions, they came, bearing the staff to the arms of the shattered city, where below the weeds and the bird call, below the Valenwood, below forever, below the riding darkness itself, a hole in the darkness called to the source of the light, drawing all light to the core of light, to the first fullness of its godly dazzle.
And there
Ooh.
was light, and it was good.
Right?
It's a cool piece. Now the companions. Do we? This is being said out loud by the elves, right? This is a poet that's coming. Do we recognize? Are we putting two and two together here? Because they're talking about the innfellows, they're talking about the staff. Is this something we're recognizing ourselves in this?
That they're talking about us?
Yes.
Well, give me a perception roll.
Perception or insight?
Oh, insight's even better. I like that.
Very insightful.
Yeah, Tass figures it out.
Yeah, so does
As
Raceland.
dumb as he looks.
Yeah, Tasselhoff and Raceland, you have the distinct feeling they are talking about you.
Yeah, Taz is just gonna kind of look over in Raceland's direction, a little scared, a little excited, but he's looking for kind of confirmation in Raceland's eyes.
Yes, Tass, there is an elven story about you.
And Taz just kind of smiles. I always wanted to be in a great story.
At this point, I believe the speaker speaks up again.
Travelers, I shall have a place prepared for you while you are among us. Follow my daughter, and she shall see you comfortably tended. After you have had a chance to wash, eat, and sleep, I shall send for you. Time is indeed short.
An exceptionally beautiful elven maiden moves forward from the onlookers. She curtsies slightly toward the speaker before blessing all of you with a smile and a like the spring sunrise. Her beauty seems greater as she moves closer, yet a childlike air about her bellies the wisdom in her eyes. She glides toward the gilded doors, and they part for her, almost as if a gentle gust of wind persuaded them to open. She leads the way into the sun and leaf speckled streets of Qualinost. Uh,
Now, it's not fair that they leave this out, but I'm going to throw it in because it's kind of important.
oh, I know. Go ahead.
Yeah, Tanis and Flint would definitely know this. The rest of us are kind of oblivious, though actually the twins might be aware of Tanis referencing it at some point.
Yeah, he's
But
probably told the twins about her.
no, he's been very quiet about her since he met Katara, remember?
Oh yeah.
So, but basically, this blonde-haired elven beauty is Tanis's childhood betrothal.
And I literally just nudge Flint and make sure he knows to say nothing.
I look up at Tanis, arch an eyebrow. It's your call, young man.
I think she has red hair, doesn't she? Not blonde.
No, the
She's
Golden
golden.
General.
She's golden haired.
Sorry, I gave away something there, but not too much.
It's okay.
Yeah, Tika being the redhead.
Yep.
She and I would definitely say like as she's walking you all, she is at one point she does recognize Tanis.
Tanis
Yeah,
does not make eye
she
contact.
actually, I think she does recognize him right off the bat. She's just realizes she has to follow protocol right now while she's in front of all the other elves. But
Yeah,
I do
definitely.
believe as part of the novel, as soon as they're not quite alone, but outside the eyes of the court, she runs up and gives Tanis a big hug and kiss, and she's still all gushing all over him, but he's moved on.
Yeah, that's actually what I was gonna do. As soon as you leave the tower of the seeker, that's as soon as you leave the place, she definitely latches on to Tanis. I was gonna say she puts her arm through his arm and kind of drags him along like a
Yep.
kid, kind of.
Yeah, she does the, pulling, spinning him in a circle by his hands and stuff.
Yeah, because she's still at this point. I like to think she's still kind of childlike.
Yes, she is.
But
She
with
grows
that,
remarkably fast for an elf maiden, though.
right? So with that, the last words the last part that I'll go off is that she does take you all to your bedrooms, your rooms with beds in them to be able to sleep for the night, uh, and wishes you all a good night, just as I now wish you all a good night, for it's the end of the session.
Now, did you want us to stick around for something?
If you want, because it was just if you want to like stick around for a little bit afterwards and we can chat about the differences between this and the novel and stuff. But if you want to get going, you can get going too. It's totally cool. I just wanted to offer that to people.
Before we end the session, Raceland's going to remind Tass to leave everything where you find it.
Whatever do you mean, Raceland?
We do not need any trouble with the elves before our departure.
Of course not. I don't even know what you're suggesting.
Just mind your manners, small one.
Goldmoon will take care of the elks.
Nice, nice. I was wondering about the elks.
Actually,
Yeah,
that's
I
probably a
want.
good point. That's actually probably a good point, is that her influence on the elks and the fact that they're revering her will probably carry a lot of weight with any elf that witnesses that.
Okay, just wanting to do my closing bits. Don't think they can hear me. Nope. All right, so that was the end of session 2 of DL2. So we'll come back in 2 weeks, which is the 24th. Continue on with the story. And again, we should be up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So thank you all for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time. Deuces.